This armed robbery is a pretty crazy situation, and I think the robbers get a little more than they bargained for. What is up, guys? Will Workman here with Self-Defense Encounters, here to give you a real-world example of how to defend yourself. If you haven't yet, don't forget to like and subscribe down below for more self-defense encounters. The armed robbery is already happening here, and it looks like they go to the clerk on the top first. Let's watch what happens here and then talk about what we can learn. The clerk does something really reckless here in a minute. See if you can spot it and let me know in the comments down below. So clear first lesson out of this one, guys, pay attention. This guy is sitting behind his desk. He looks like he's watching a movie with one headphone in. I get it, you have a boring job, but realize if you work in a transitional space like a gas station, you are at risk for robberies. If it hasn't happened yet, there's a pretty good chance it could happen. And this guy's coworker is being robbed 10 feet away from him. Dude doesn't even notice until the robber comes over to him and taps on the glass with his gun, and then he's like, oh shoot. So you gotta pay attention to what's going on around you, because when you're paying attention, then it gives you time to decide, can I run away? Can I draw my gun? Can I fight back? What do I need to do in this situation? If you're not paying attention, you're gonna have a lot less time to figure out what to do. Now, since we've watched the whole encounter, we know that this clerk is carrying a gun, and I think that's great. I think especially if you're working in a place like this that's higher risk, having your gun on you rather than staged behind the counter where you may not be able to get to it as quickly, I think that he made the right decision there. I think it's great that he's armed, that he's ready to protect himself. And once he realizes this is an armed robbery, I actually love that he doesn't immediately go for his gun, because sometimes you have to wait your turn. And when someone is pointing a gun at you, their eyes are on you, that's not the time to go for your gun. So he waits his turn until he has an opportunity to draw his gun. I think he does a great job with that. All right, now here's where it gets real. And I want to first ask the question, is he justified in taking shots at these two guys once the robbery has already happened? Does he have to take shots at these guys? Maybe not. Maybe they'll just walk out, he'll never see them again and not have to worry about it. But we have seen situations where robbers just turn and start shooting as they leave. So because they still have guns, because they're in the middle of this armed robbery, and he is a victim of that armed robbery, I think he's 100% justified in firing these shots. The really reckless thing that he does here, I don't know if you can see it, right in between these two guys, when he fires that first shot, is the other counter with his coworker, the other clerk, right behind it. And not only does he still bring up the gun crazy fast and just start winging shots, but he doesn't even get two hands on the gun, which stresses me out so much. He holds one hand up, pretty much blocking the view of his sights, and just starts winging shots. He goes for the first guy, and then he moves and transitions to the second guy. I'll go ahead and say it would be a miracle if he didn't hit his coworker on the other side of that counter, because that counter is just glass, and he's just winging shots like John Wayne, hoping for the best. If you're in an encounter like this, gun safety is still a thing, and I get it, your blood is pumping, you've got to stop the threat quick. You have to remember the safety rule to know your target and what's beyond it. And I'm not saying he definitely shouldn't have taken this shot, but I am saying he should have been very careful of the shots that he took. definitely get both hands on the gun and be precise with those shots, not just winging it with one hand. Now, the way you get better at this is to actually practice your shooting skills and get some training with shooting your gun with both hands, seeing your sights and doing those target transitions to know when you can apply pressure to the trigger and hit the next target without hitting something else in between. Now, I don't want to give this guy too much crap because he did protect himself here. He did stop one of the armed robbers, but we've seen very similar situations where clerks handle themselves a lot better with their firearm. They draw more efficiently, they get a full firing grip with both hands, and they get shots on target. This is pretty darn reckless the way he's shooting, and it's really just out of fear. You've got to practice those things beforehand so that when you're in a situation where your blood is pumping and you're under a lot of pressure, you've done it before on the range. You've done it with a timer, you've practiced your draw, you know how to grip your gun and see your sights so that you handle yourself really well. Thanks so much for watching. If you like seeing these self-defense encounters, then hit the like and subscribe button down below so that you can see the next one. Because some of our videos are getting age restricted, they're just not getting pushed out. So if you like this video, feel free to like and subscribe and share it with those that you think would be interested. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.